Without this dress and the Suez Canal, you wouldn't have Louis Vuitton. This is the Empress Eugenie, whose husband was Napoleon III, who ruled France in the middle of the 1800s during what's called the Second Empire. He was this Napoleon's nephew. And for a refresher, this Napoleon ruled after Marie Antoinette and her husband, King Louis XVIII, were. So, Empress Eugenie is living in Paris around the same time that a young Englishman named Charles Worth has moved to Paris. He'd like to design fancy dresses. His wife has the idea that if they can find one advocate for them at court, his dresses will take off. So they offer to make a dress for the ambassador from Austria's wife. She wears the dress in front of the empress, who loves it. After the empress starts wearing his dresses, they go from costing 200 francs a dress to 2,000 francs a dress. Around that time, a ticket from Paris to London cost 25 francs, and a worker's annual salary was 60 francs. And Worth immediately became very innovative. He created a system where you could go into his store and see a model wearing the dress, pick it out, and then they would sew it to your size. He had different rooms so you could see these dresses in natural light and also in artificial light, so you knew exactly what you were getting. He was the first designer to put his name in labels so everyone knew where that dress came from. He also changed the silhouette of dresses. Both he and the empress hated crinoline, which the empress thought were uncomfortable and he thought were a terrible silhouette. So by the time that the empress in 1869 goes to open the Suez Canal, dresses have a completely different silhouette. It's also a time when the empress and her husband were very unpopular in France. Luckily, a French architect is opening this canal that will transform sea trade, making it much faster to go from Europe to Asia. There was a plan for 3 weeks of festivity, with international delegations showing up, and a whole tent city being erected. The empress commissioned 200 dresses from the House of Worth for every occasion. But those dresses needed a special case to travel. Enter Louis Vuitton. Where's the monograph? This is before those were invented. But he was very good at creating cases that could protect those dresses. And after everyone heard that the empress had hired Louis Vuitton to make her travel cases, he became very popular. Sadly, the same could not be said for the empress and her husband. A year later, they were out of power, and she eventually was exiled outside of France. Louis Vuitton became the travel case makers. Eventually, in 1896, they added the monogram to keep people from making counterfeit Louis Vuitton travel cases.